Chosen one, you are not here by accident. This moment is not random, and it is not something you stumbled into by chance. It is a divine appointment, a heavenly summons, a holy interruption that has been arranged specifically for your spirit. Something in the unseen realm has shifted, and heaven itself has aligned your steps to meet this exact message at this exact time. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural breakthrough, a moment where God steps directly into your timeline with provision, clarity, and divine funding. The weight you have been carrying for so long is beginning to lift. The fear that whispered to you in the quiet hours of the night is losing its voice and its power. The delay that made you question your worth, your calling, and your value is dissolving under the authority of God's perfect and intentional timing. Chosen one, hear this with your spirit fully awake and attentive. You are entering a realm where God funds what He authors, where divine strategy meets supernatural supply, and where the promise written over your life begins to show up in real, tangible ways. Just as it is written in Philippians 4:19, God will supply all your needs, not from limited earthly resources, but from the riches of His glory. This is not a shallow promise or empty comfort. This is a living truth. You are stepping into holy provision. You are stepping into divine alignment. You are stepping into the life that heaven has already prepared for you long before you ever asked for it. Chosen one, prepare your spirit, because what is coming is bigger than you imagined, bigger than what you dared to hope for, and greater than what your past experiences told you was possible. Chosen one, hear this with the deepest part of your spirit. What is happening in your life right now is not random, accidental, or coincidental. This is a divine transition, a holy rearranging of the atmosphere around you. It is the moment when heaven steps into your story in a way that cannot be explained by logic, effort, timing, or human understanding. You are being shifted from a life built on survival into a life carried by supernatural supply. And as you listen to these words, something inside you already knows this is true. Something within you is rising. Something within you is remembering who you are. Something within you is awakening to what heaven has been quietly and faithfully preparing you for behind the scenes. For a long time, chosen one, you have been living from one emergency to the next. You have carried the weight of every bill, every decision, every responsibility, every fear, and every unanswered question. You have stretched yourself thin, trying to make life work through your own strength, your own effort, and your own endurance. You have carried burdens far heavier than what anyone around you ever realized. There were nights you stayed awake worrying, days you pushed through exhaustion, and moments when you wondered how much longer you could keep going like this. You asked yourself silently if relief would ever come, if things would ever ease, if you would ever feel supported instead of pressured. But the season of barely getting by, the season of constantly scrambling for the next solution, is being dismantled by heaven itself. You are stepping into a supernatural dimension where God is no longer just your comfort in hard times. He is becoming your source. He is becoming your provider. He is becoming the one who sponsors your steps, your vision, your healing, your ideas, and your elevation. Lack is no longer the story written over your life. That old narrative is being erased at the root. The cycle of scarcity, struggle, and survival is losing its authority over you, and this truth is not spoken lightly. It is spoken by someone who has walked through their own wilderness seasons, someone who knows what it feels like to stare at circumstances that do not match God's promises. There were seasons where deadlines, obligations, and silent battles all collided at once. There were moments of pressure that no one else saw, moments of faith that felt fragile, moments where strength ran low. Yet even when no one else noticed the struggle, God did. And every time the end of human strength was reached, heaven had already prepared a provision that was unexpected. A door opened that was not planned, a connection appeared that was not forced, a breakthrough arrived that could not have been produced by effort alone. That same grace is rising over your life right now, chosen one. Heaven is not giving you crumbs. Heaven is preparing a feast. This is not about temporary relief or quick fixes that disappear as fast as they arrive. This is about holy overflow. This is about divine abundance that goes far beyond finances. Yes, resources are coming. Yes, money will show up at the right time. But heaven is releasing more than currency. Ideas are coming that will shift your direction. Favor is coming that will open doors you never touched. Peace is coming that will quiet the noise in your mind. Clarity is coming that will make confusing paths suddenly make sense. Divine timing is coming that will align everything without strain. Rest is coming to places that have been exhausted for years. Healing is coming to wounds you learned to live with. Solutions are coming before problems even have a chance to form. You are entering a flow where things begin to align with a grace that does not make sense to the natural mind. You are stepping into blessings you did not chase, opportunities you did not force, and doors you did not knock on. This is supernatural alignment. This is divine strategy. This is heaven adjusting you into what has been yours through Christ all along. The struggle you thought was permanent was only preparation. The waiting you thought was punishment was actually alignment in progress. There are many people who kept their dreams buried because they believed their resources were too small. They assumed their timing was wrong. They believed their window had already closed, but there are stories that reveal heaven's pattern. One woman held her vision quietly for nearly a decade. She thought she had missed her moment. She believed life had passed her by. Then, one ordinary afternoon, someone overheard her speaking with passion about what she loved. Within weeks, her assignment was funded, supported, and launched. Later she said, "God couldn't release it until I stopped surviving and started believing again." Chosen one, this is your invitation to believe again. You have spent years trying to earn what heaven always intended to give you. You tried to prove yourself through effort, perfection, endurance, and overwork. But what is coming to you now is not a payment for performance. It is a release based on purpose. You are stepping into a kind of blessing that cannot be manufactured. You are stepping into elevation that cannot be negotiated. You are stepping into provision that cannot be explained by natural means. God is funding your future because your life carries weight. There is destiny on you. There is assignment on you. There is impact connected to your existence. You are not just being blessed, you are being entrusted. And because of that, chosen one, this is not the moment to shrink back. This is not the moment to doubt yourself. This is not the moment to sabotage what heaven is releasing by thinking too small or settling for too little. Heaven did not bring you this far to let you question your worth now. Lift your head. Something is shifting. Something is awakening. Something is unlocking on your behalf. What felt delayed was actually being prepared. What felt denied was actually being aligned. Heaven is restoring the years you thought were lost. Heaven is replacing what was stolen. Heaven is rewriting what you believed was ruined. And heaven is doing it in a way that will silence every lie that told you it would never happen for you. Chosen one, what does it look like when God funds your life? It looks like rest that confuses those who expected you to burn out. It looks like strategies you never studied for. It looks like solutions that arrive before the storm hits. It looks like doors opening at the exact moment you thought you had no strength left to knock. It looks like peace in the middle of chaos. It looks like clarity in seasons of confusion. It looks like unexpected favor appearing like divine fingerprints all over your story. When heaven funds your purpose, nothing can block what belongs to you. not your past, not your fear, not the people who walked away, not the mistakes you made, not the seasons you thought disqualified you. You were chosen before the foundation of the world. You were called long before life tried to convince you otherwise. What God opens, no one can shut. What God shuts, no one can force open again. This is your moment, chosen one. Heaven is shifting your atmosphere. Heaven is breaking survival patterns off your life. Heaven is resourcing you with a strength, a confidence, and a divine backing you have never known before. You are stepping into the fullness of what was written over you. You are stepping into your divine provision. You are stepping into your supernatural supply. Chosen one, breathe this in. Let it settle in your spirit. Let your inner being recognize what is happening. Heaven is approving what you need. Heaven is accelerating what was delayed. Heaven is aligning what was scattered. Heaven is preparing you for a life that no longer looks like constant struggle, but looks like purpose fulfilled, chosen one. As this divine flow continues to unfold, you must understand that nothing in your life is happening randomly. Every shift, every stirring, every moment where your spirit feels stretched or awakened is part of a holy rearrangement. You are being moved from reacting to receiving, from striving to surrender, from uncertainty to supernatural certainty. There were seasons where you did everything you could with what you had. You survived on scraps of strength and fragments of hope. Yet even then, heaven was watching, organizing, and aligning what you could not see. Now the atmosphere around you is responding to that unseen preparation. You may feel it in subtle ways. Your thoughts are shifting. Your expectations are rising. Your fears are losing their grip. These are not small changes. These are confirmations that heaven's timing has met your obedience. This is the season where God is not just giving you what you need. He is introducing you to what has always been yours. Divine identity is awakening within you, and as your identity shifts, everything connected to you must shift as well. The way you think begins to change. The way you speak carries more authority. The spaces you occupy begin to respond differently. The opportunities that approach you start to match who you truly are in the spirit. There were times when the inner stirring came long before outer evidence. Moments when something whispered quietly, "More is coming," even when nothing around you reflected that truth. Every time that whisper was honored instead of fear, provision followed, sometimes in obvious ways, sometimes in small signs, but always with purpose. That same invisible grace is unfolding in your life now. There are blessings overtaking you that you cannot trace back to your effort. There are alignments forming without your involvement. There are resources searching for you because heaven has commanded them to find you. You may notice certain things falling away, habits, people, environments that no longer fit your future. And even if part of you wants to hold on to what feels familiar, your spirit knows it is time to release the old. When heaven expands you, anything that shrinks you must be removed. This removal is not rejection, it is protection, it is refinement, it is God making room for what carries weight, purpose, and promise. The chosen one you are becoming cannot be surrounded by what was tied to your survival era. Your new season requires a new environment, and heaven is rearranging everything to match what is coming. As you step into this supernatural alignment, the way you carry yourself will change. You will walk with deeper peace because the pressure you once carried is no longer yours to hold. You will speak with clarity because heaven is guiding your thoughts. You will make decisions with confidence because fear is losing its authority. I have lived through moments where worry tried to suffocate my ability to dream. There were seasons where fear pressed so tightly against my thoughts that I could barely imagine a future beyond survival. Every plan felt fragile, every hope felt risky, and it was only when I finally surrendered that inner battle, when I stopped fighting in my own strength and let go of the need to control the outcome, that God released what had always been meant for me. That same surrender is now being asked of you, chosen one, not a passive surrender that gives up or grows silent, but a holy surrender that leans fully into trust, a posture of faith that says, I don't know how this will happen, but I know who is holding my life. This is the place where supernatural supply begins to flow freely, without resistance. This is where provision starts arriving before you even realize you need it. This is where opportunities align without your effort or careful planning. This is where ideas begin to spark at the most unexpected moments, surprising even you. You will notice yourself solving problems with wisdom you never studied for. You will step into conversations that carry the very breakthrough you have been praying for in private. You will watch heaven move certain people gently out of your way and bring others toward you at the exact right moment. And as all of this unfolds, understand something deeply important. You are not just being blessed. You are being positioned. Blessing often comes for comfort, but positioning comes for calling. Comfort can ease you, but calling shapes you. Chosen one, heaven is not preparing you for a single moment that passes quickly. Heaven is preparing you for a mantle, and mantles require maturity, clarity, and spiritual stability. You are being elevated into a role that carries influence in places you have not yet stepped into. Your presence will begin to shift atmospheres without you trying. Your voice will begin to carry weight and authority without you raising it. Your decisions will begin to affect others in ways you did not expect or even intend. This is why God has been strengthening your foundation. The blessing coming toward you will not overwhelm you or crush you, because God is working deeply inside you before expanding your life on the outside. As this inner transformation continues, you will begin to see life through new eyes. You will no longer view everything from a place of survival, but from a place of trust. You will notice yourself stopping the question, will it work out? And replacing it with a quiet confidence that says, it is already done. You will stop stressing about timing and start flowing with divine timing. You will stop shrinking yourself to fit into old circles and begin rising naturally into the spaces heaven has already prepared for you. The fear that once controlled your choices will slowly lose its power as your identity aligns with truth. Chosen one, every step you take from this point forward is being guided, supported, and strengthened by heaven. You are not walking alone. You are not building alone. You are not transitioning alone. You are being carried by something greater than fear, greater than lack, and greater than uncertainty. Something holy is unfolding in your life. Something ancient is awakening within your spirit. Something divine is being released over you, and this is only the beginning of what heaven has planned. Chosen one, as this divine unfolding continues, you are being ushered into a dimension of life where nothing looks the same because nothing is the same. The old battles that drained your energy no longer have authority over you. The old fears that once silenced your voice no longer control you. The old patterns that kept you small are losing their grip because your spirit is awakening to a greater truth. You are stepping out of cycles that lasted for years and into alignment that can happen in moments. Heaven has accelerated your timeline, and even if your mind cannot fully see it yet, your spirit can feel the shift happening. There is a clarity coming over your life that cannot be explained by circumstances alone. It can only be explained by divine revelation. You are becoming someone who walks with certainty, not because everything is perfect, but because you finally understand who is walking with you. You may have noticed recently that things which once unsettled you do not shake you the way they used to. This is not numbness, this is growth, this is spiritual maturity. It is the quiet strength of someone who has survived storms that should have taken them out, heartbreaks that should have broken them completely, and pressures that should have crushed all hope. Yet here you are, still standing, still rising, still believing, still moving forward even when life tried to convince you to stay stuck. I have stood in that place myself, where the weight felt unbearable, where the waiting felt endless, and where the silence from heaven felt like abandonment. But every single time I reached the edge of my endurance, God revealed that He had been carrying me all along. That same revelation is now settling into your heart. A supernatural steadiness is forming within you. A calm confidence is rising, born from the knowing that God is not just watching your life from a distance. He is actively orchestrating it. This awareness is beginning to shape the way you live each day. You will notice a gentle boldness rising when you speak about your dreams. You will feel peace settling into places that were once filled with panic. You will catch yourself expecting good instead of bracing for disappointment. These are not small changes. These are signs that heaven is renewing your mind, realigning your heart, and reshaping your identity from the inside out. And chosen one, because your identity is shifting, your environment must shift as well. There are people you once felt deeply connected to who may now feel distant, not because of conflict, but because of calling. There are conversations you used to enjoy that no longer nourish your spirit. There are old versions of yourself that no longer feel comfortable because your spirit has outgrown your history. This is not loss. This is freedom. This is God gently removing weights you did not even realize you were carrying. When heaven elevates you, separation is often part of the process, but this separation is not punishment, it is preparation. You cannot step fully into your divine assignment while holding tightly to what only belonged to a previous chapter. In this new season, you will find yourself drawn to higher ways of thinking, higher standards, deeper connections, and greater purpose. You will begin to desire what aligns with your destiny rather than what simply comforts your past. You are being refined into someone who can carry blessing without being destroyed by it, someone who can hold influence with humility, someone who can receive provision without fear. Heaven is preparing you not just for supply, but for influence. This kind of preparation requires depth, it requires discernment, it requires spiritual weight, and heaven is building that weight within you right now. As this inner growth continues, you will begin to notice divine timing working in ways that feel almost unreal. Opportunities that once felt delayed will suddenly appear. Conversations that once seemed impossible will open naturally. Ideas that once felt too big will now feel fitting because your capacity has expanded. I have witnessed this in my own life, moments where everything aligned in ways I could never have planned or forced. That is what happens when heaven sponsors your steps. That is what divine timing looks like in motion. And that is what is happening for you now, chosen one. Everything connected to your purpose is being activated. Your gifts are sharpening. Your vision is strengthening. Your inner knowing is becoming clearer. And as this happens, you may be surprised by how easily solutions begin to flow. When heaven funds your life, provision is no longer a rare event. It becomes a rhythm, it becomes a pattern, it becomes the natural outcome of alignment. You no longer have to chase what already belongs to you. What is meant for you will find you, follow you, and flow toward you because heaven has already assigned it. This is the beauty of divine flow. You are not forcing anything, you are not fighting for scraps. You are walking in grace, and grace accomplishes what striving never could. Grace opens doors, grace gathers resources, grace brings the right people at the right time. Grace reveals strategy when you need it. Grace carries you across terrain that once terrified you. Grace is becoming your new normal, and the more you trust it, the more it expands in your life. Chosen one, prepare yourself. You are stepping into days where provision will no longer shock you. It will be expected. You are entering a season where peace will not be rare. It will be your foundation. You are moving into a life where blessings will not feel accidental, but aligned. Heaven is rewriting your story from the inside out, and everything around you will soon reflect the change happening within you. Chosen one, as you continue walking through this divine transformation, you will notice that the way heaven moves in your life is becoming clearer. What once felt like quiet encouragement will begin to feel like clear direction. What once felt like scattered signs will begin to form a pattern. What once felt like random breakthroughs will reveal a greater strategy behind them. You are entering a season where heaven is no longer hinting. Heaven is announcing, and with every announcement comes evidence that you are no longer just surviving. You are rising. You are stepping into a place where your spirit leads before your circumstances catch up. Because of this shift, life will begin responding to you differently. One of the first things you will notice is clarity. Answers you have waited months or even years for will begin to unfold naturally. You will know what to do next without overthinking every step. Direction will come without doubt. This clarity is not coming from logic alone. It is coming from your spirit. Heaven is aligning your thoughts with your calling, your desires with your destiny, and your vision with God's timing. As this alignment deepens, confusion will lose its grip. I remember times when I begged God for answers and heard nothing, only to realize later that the silence was preparing me for clarity that would change everything. That same clarity is now approaching your life. As clarity grows, so will the awareness of your calling. You will feel an inner pull toward purpose that refuses to be ignored. There will be mornings when you wake up with fresh fire, sensing that something meaningful is ahead. There will be moments when passion returns without warning. Conversations will remind you of who you truly are and who you were always meant to become. This is heaven stirring your spirit. This is God awakening what was placed inside you long ago. And chosen one, you will no longer be able to hide from it. You will no longer be able to shrink back. Heaven has placed too much within you to allow you to remain small. As your calling rises, your environment will shift more clearly. Some people may feel uncomfortable as your spirit grows stronger. Some spaces may feel limiting where they once felt safe. Some conversations may feel draining where they once felt familiar. This is not rejection. This is divine filtering. God is protecting what He is building inside you. You may feel tempted to hold on to old connections or routines, but release is part of rising. You cannot carry old weight into a new season. In this time, you will also notice heaven reshaping your priorities. Things you once tolerated will no longer sit right within you. Certain habits will fall away naturally because they no longer match who you are becoming. You will crave peace more than approval, purpose more than entertainment, depth more than distraction. I have walked through this same shift and wondered why certain things no longer satisfied me, only to realize my spirit had outgrown them. You are experiencing that same growth now. It is a sign that heaven is preparing you for greater responsibility. And chosen one, as this inner maturity develops, you will move with a confidence that does not come from success or validation. It comes from revelation, the revelation that you are supported by heaven, guided by God, and sustained by grace. But as God strengthens you internally, your confidence will no longer be tied to circumstance. It will be anchored in identity, your identity as someone chosen, someone called with intention, someone trusted to carry things that others are not prepared to hold. This confidence will not come from pride or performance, but from deep knowing. As this knowing settles into you, opportunities will begin to notice you even before you notice them. You will walk into moments that feel as if they were designed specifically for your gifts. You will cross paths with people who feel heaven sent, as if they were placed directly in your journey on purpose. You will enter rooms your old self never believed you belonged in, and yet, as each door opens, you will not feel shock or fear. Instead, you will feel recognition, a calm awareness that says, "This fits," because somewhere deep inside, you will understand that everything now unfolding around you was first prepared within you. Heaven never releases outwardly what the heart is not ready to hold inwardly. Chosen one, prepare yourself, because this supernatural alignment is only beginning. You are entering a flow where breakthroughs feel natural, where growth feels steady, where elevation feels less like a struggle and more like a process. Blessings will no longer feel random or surprising. They will feel like a natural result of who you are becoming. Heaven is not only changing what happens around you, heaven is changing you, and because of that change, everything connected to your life must now adjust to the version of you God has been shaping for this moment. Chosen one, as this divine story continues to unfold, you will begin to see clearly that God is not simply fixing situations. He is reshaping your inner posture. He is changing how you stand, how you respond, how you think, how you speak, and how you see what is possible. This transformation does not begin on the surface. It begins quietly inside you, unseen but powerful enough to redirect your entire future. You may have wondered recently why certain things suddenly feel uncomfortable, why old habits feel heavy, why familiar spaces no longer satisfy your spirit. It is because heaven is calling you higher. You are being gently pulled out of what once felt normal and prepared for what is supernatural. And this kind of rise always begins within before it ever appears outwardly. Chosen one, a deep realignment is happening inside you. You may not remember asking for it, but God is doing it with care and precision. Moments that once drained you are now teaching you. Situations that once discouraged you are now revealing your strength. Every part of your past is being re-examined through the lens of purpose. Even the pain you carried is being reshaped into wisdom. Even the waiting you endured is being redeemed. There were times when you felt invisible, unheard, unprotected. Yet heaven never looked away. I have lived through seasons where I thought God had left me, only to realize later that his silence was not absence but strategy. And now, chosen one, you are stepping into the truth that nothing you endured was wasted. Not one tear, not one delay, not one moment of confusion. Heaven recorded it all and prepared a reversal. This is why strength is rising in you now in a way you cannot fully explain. You are making choices the old version of you would have avoided. You are speaking with courage that surprises even you. You are releasing things you once thought you needed to survive. This is not recklessness. This is clarity. Heaven is sharpening your discernment. God is stretching your capacity. You are being trained to care for what you once only dreamed about. Your inner world is being strengthened to match the level of blessing that is approaching. Chosen one, one of the most important truths you must hold is this: God does not place large blessings on small identities. He expands the person before he releases the promise. And as your sense of who you are grows, your perspective will grow with it. You will stop thinking like someone merely trying to get through life and begin thinking like someone meant to build something meaningful. You will stop planning from fear and begin planning from faith. You will stop asking whether something is possible and start asking whether it is aligned. This shift is proof that your mind is being renewed and that divine direction is beginning to flow. You will begin to notice ideas rising inside you, gentle but clear. New ways of seeing old problems, directions that feel too fitting to be random. These are not coincidences. They are blueprints from heaven being placed within your spirit, and as you follow them, you will see results that go beyond human reasoning. Still, even as you rise, there may be moments where doubt whispers, moments where you wonder if you are truly ready, moments where you ask why God would choose you. I understand this deeply because I have stood in that same place, feeling unqualified for what God asked of me. But each time fear spoke, God answered with truth. He does not call the prepared. He prepares the called, and He is preparing you now. He is strengthening areas in you that once felt fragile. He is healing wounds you forgot were there. He is shaping your identity so it can fully carry your destiny. The calling on your life is not too large. You were created with it in mind, chosen one. As this inner work continues, you will see heaven arranging relationships around you. Certain people will appear at the right moment, carrying encouragement, wisdom, or opportunity. These connections are intentional. They are assignments. Heaven sends people to support you, sharpen you, confirm you, and walk beside you into the next season. At the same time, some relationships will quietly fade, not through conflict, not through pain, but through distance. This is God creating space. It may feel unfamiliar, but trust this truth. Heaven never removes without replacing. And what is coming will hold greater alignment, greater purpose, and greater strength than what was released. As you step deeper into this exchange, you will begin to experience provision in ways that feel almost unreal. Opportunities will appear unexpectedly, resources will come without strain, solutions will form before problems fully appear. You will begin to realize you are no longer depending on the world's system alone. You are learning to live by heaven's economy, and heaven never runs out. Provision is not late. It is being prepared. It is already moving toward you. Let this truth settle deep within you. You are being transformed for a reason. Heaven is preparing you for a blessing that matches your calling, your obedience, and your future. Everything unfolding now is setting the stage for the abundance that is approaching. Chosen one, as this sacred unfolding continues, understand this. Heaven is not only shifting what happens around you, it is rebuilding what lives within you. Your inner foundation is being reset. Trust is replacing tension. Faith is replacing fear. Identity is replacing survival instinct. This is why emotions, habits, and reactions are surfacing now, not to overwhelm you, but to be released. You cannot step into what is next while carrying what belongs to the past. Heaven is clearing your inner space so that when elevation comes, it does not overwhelm you but crowns you. This refining is not punishment. It is preparation. There may be moments when you feel stretched, moments when emotions rise unexpectedly, moments when you feel sensitive in new ways. This is because your spiritual awareness is increasing. You are learning to recognize what is aligned, what is distracting, and what could pull you off course. For a long time, many learned to silence their intuition just to survive, but now that inner voice is being restored. Your discernment is waking up. You are becoming aware of atmospheres, intentions, and patterns you once overlooked. This is maturity, and it is also responsibility. Someone who cannot discern cannot protect destiny. God is ensuring you are equipped for what He is bringing. Chosen one, you may also notice that peace is becoming more familiar to you. Situations that once unsettled you now feel manageable. Challenges that once terrified you now meet a calm response. This does not mean life has become easy. It means your spirit has become steady. Peace is not the absence of trouble. It is the presence of perspective. Heaven is giving you eyes that see beyond the immediate and beyond the visible. I have lived through storms that did not stop, yet fear did. Not because I became strong, but because God made me steady. That same steadiness is settling into you. As this inner strength grows, your relationship with provision is also being healed. Many have lived bracing for lack, expecting disappointment, fearing there would never be enough. Heaven is rewriting that pattern. You are learning to live from trust rather than tension. Provision will begin to feel consistent. Blessings will feel connected, not random. You will see evidence of God's faithfulness appearing in real, tangible ways. And with each moment, a deeper truth will settle in. God is not only providing for you. He is partnering with you. This partnership becomes clearer as timing aligns. You will recognize moments where everything fits together perfectly. Conversations will open doors. Encounters will redirect paths. These are not accidents, they are confirmations. Heaven is creating alignment that effort alone could never produce, and as alignment increases, acceleration follows. When your spirit is aligned, your life moves with grace rather than resistance. Chosen one, another change you will notice is your growing awareness of your worth. You are beginning to understand that your value is not based on output or achievement. It is rooted in who you are to heaven. This may feel new, especially if you were taught to tie worth to work. But heaven is freeing you from that belief. When you know your worth, you stop chasing approval. You stop settling for spaces that drain you. You stop entertaining connections that diminish you. Instead, you attract what honors what you carry. As your worth becomes clearer, your boundaries will become stronger. You will step away from what once pulled you in. You will protect your peace with intention. Boundaries are not walls, they are protection. They allow God to build something stable and lasting in your life. I have learned that every major step forward required releasing something familiar. And every release made room for something better. That same exchange is happening for you now. Everything within you is being recalibrated to match what heaven is releasing. Your spirit is expanding. Your capacity is increasing. Your peace is deepening. And as your inner world shifts, your outer world is preparing to follow. Stay open, stay surrendered, stay aligned. The outpouring of clarity, provision, and purpose is drawing near. Heaven is revealing who you truly are beneath the weight of survival and the shadows of old identity. This revelation comes gently for some people and suddenly for others. But no matter how it arrives, it always comes with a strong, undeniable power. You are being shown a version of yourself, one that God always saw, even when you didn't see it in yourself. This unveiling is more than just an emotional feeling. It is a spiritual awakening, a deep kind of awareness that gets you ready for a higher level of alignment, influence, and abundance in your life. Every change happening inside you is pulling you closer to the future that heaven has planned for you. You might sometimes feel like you are fighting with yourself because the old parts of you want to hold on to familiar ways, while the new parts of you want to rise up boldly and change. You may notice your thoughts start to change, your desires shift, and your inner standards get higher without you even trying to make it happen. This is proof that heaven is upgrading how you think. The mindset of just surviving, which used to help you get by, is now breaking down. In its place, a new way of thinking is growing, one full of abundance, clarity, and spiritual authority. You are not only thinking differently, you are becoming a different person. The seeds of your true identity, the one God planted in you many years ago, are finally starting to grow and sprout. And although this process may feel strange and new, it is completely intentional and cannot be undone. As this new birth inside you keeps happening, the relationships around you will also begin to change. Some people will start to move away from you for no clear reason. At the same time, others will come closer as if they can sense the changes happening inside you. Don't be afraid of these changes in your relationships. They are part of a spiritual sorting process that happens when someone steps into their destiny. People who cannot honor your calling will slowly fade away, not because of drama or fights, but because their role in your journey has ended. On the other hand, those who are in alignment with God's plan for you will be drawn to you naturally. They will recognize the special light and favor on your life even before you fully understand it yourself. You are chosen. You also need to get ready for your spirit becoming more sensitive. When God lifts someone up, He sharpens their inner hearing. You will notice that some conversations will feel heavier than before, some places will tire you out faster, and some types of entertainment won't feel good to your soul anymore. This is not a weakness. It is a sign of growth and refinement. Heaven is tuning your spirit like a musical instrument, clearing away the noise and interference so you can hear God's voice more clearly. The more sensitive you become to what is holy, the easier it will be for you to tell what is harmful or not good for you. This ability to clearly judge what is right and wrong will protect everything that God is about to give you. Along with this growing sensitivity comes a new level of responsibility. God is not only blessing you, He is also shaping and building you. A big part of this building is learning to respond to His instructions with obedience, not with doubt or delay. Sometimes God will gently push you forward, and other times He will warn you to step back. You may feel pulled toward opportunities that once scared you, or you might feel the need to move away from things you used to put up with. These feelings are not random. They are spiritual signals guiding you into God's perfect plan. When God is funding your future, He will not let you waste your energy on things that are not meant for you. In this season, your vision will grow bigger. Dreams, ideas, and plans that once felt too large or impossible will start to feel doable. You will wake up with clear understanding, new strategies, and sudden bursts of inspiration. This is because God is activating your purpose with new urgency. You are not just being prepared to rise higher. You are being prepared to manage influence and responsibility. The blessings and provision coming your way are not just to make your life easier or more comfortable. They are to empower you in your calling, support your mission, and increase the impact you will have on the people who are connected to your destiny. You might feel pressure rising inside you at times, not because you are going back to old habits, but because pressure is a sign that you are growing. Just like when a container gets bigger, it stretches and feels tight at first. This is necessary to hold what is coming next. The same thing is happening to your spirit. God is stretching you so you can hold more wisdom, more peace, more revelation, and more blessings without breaking under their weight. Don't mistake this stretching for struggle. It is a sacred process, a divine preparation for overflow. As this stretching continues, you will also begin to experience supernatural protection. Problems and dangers that used to harm you will suddenly change and work in your favor. Plans made against you will fall apart before they even reach your life. People who misunderstood you or caused harm will no longer have access to you. God is not just getting your blessing ready. He is also guarding your environment. You will start to see signs of divine protection, not because dangers are increasing, but because your destiny is becoming more important. Heaven protects what it promotes, and your calling is now too important to be left unprotected. Soon, you will notice a deeper kind of peace settling over your heart. This peace is not weak or temporary. It will stay with you even when things around you change. It will hold you steady when uncertainty tries to scare you. It will remind you that you are never walking alone but being carried by a source that never fails. This peace is one of the clearest signs that you are stepping into a season of supernatural provision, even before you see the full blessing pouring out around you. Heaven starts the abundance inside you first. Chosen one, everything in your life is coming together in divine timing. The feeling of alignment you have is not a coincidence. The inner changes you sense are not just your imagination. The hunger for more, the clarity waking up inside you, the desire to rise into your true identity, all these are signs that heaven is calling you forward. Even though this process may feel intense and difficult at times, it proves that something extraordinary is being made inside you. Stay steady, stay open, and stay expectant. God has started a work in you that will not stop until it is finished. Chosen one, as this divine unveiling goes deeper, heaven is starting to touch parts of your life you once thought were too broken, too late, or too small to matter. What you must understand right now, in this sacred moment of spiritual growth, is that nothing about your journey has been wasted. Every setback, every disappointment, every unexpected turn has been used as building blocks for the masterpiece God is creating inside you. What once felt like broken pieces are now becoming strong foundations. What once seemed like detours are actually divine alignments. And what you thought was abandonment was really heaven moving you into a better future than you ever imagined. This understanding alone is changing your inner attitude and getting you ready to receive what your spirit has been carrying for a long time. As you step more into this place of supernatural alignment, you will feel a stronger pull to be your real, authentic self. There is no room anymore for pretending, shrinking back, or acting like someone you are not. God is calling you to show up fully as the person He created you to be. The version of you who lived for other people's approval is fading away. The version who buried dreams to keep the peace is disappearing. The version who settled for less because you were afraid of being too much is being replaced by someone bold, aligned, and deeply rooted in purpose. You are no longer adjusting yourself to fit into places that cannot hold your calling. You are rising up to meet the places heaven has prepared for you. This change will feel freeing, even if it feels lonely sometimes, because spiritual growth often starts with separation. Chosen one, don't fear the space growing between you and the people you once relied on. God is not isolating you, He is protecting you. There is a big difference between being isolated and being protected. Isolation leaves you empty and alone, but protection keeps your spirit safe while God works on something new inside you. Some people are not walking away from you. They are being gently removed so they don't get in the way of the next stage of your transformation. Others are being brought closer because they have the wisdom, insight, or support you need for your destiny. God is carefully choosing your relationships to make sure only what matches your purpose stays around. As these changes in relationships happen, your spirit will become more aware of your mission. Many of you have felt for a long time that you were called to something bigger than your current life. You sensed it in your restlessness, your dissatisfaction with just getting by, and your desire for more meaning and depth. What you once thought was just your imagination is now becoming clear revelation. God is confirming what your spirit has known all along. You were never meant to just blend in. You were never made to stay hidden. You were never designed to be small. You carry a destiny that needs visibility, influence, and God's power. And now, God is giving you the clarity to see the way forward. With this new clarity comes responsibility, and with responsibility comes the resources you need. God doesn't give you a vision without also giving you what you need to make it happen. You will start to see opportunities open up that match the tasks God has put on your heart. Unexpected conversations will confirm what you've been feeling. Doors you knocked on before with no response will now open easily. Ideas that once felt too big will start to seem possible. This is how God signals that it's time to move from hoping into doing, from dreaming into building, and from just surviving to becoming a good manager of what God has given you. Chosen one, as you go through this transition, you will begin to see the supernatural in ways you never have before, not always through big miracles, though those will come, but through God's perfect timing and precision in the details of your life. Bills that once stressed you out will get taken care of with ease. Needs you worried about will be met before you even ask. Solutions will show up just when you need them. People will come into your life with knowledge, resources, or access you didn't even know you needed. This is divine provision, not just money, but spiritual, emotional, relational, and mental support sent straight from God's throne. And as this flow of blessings grows, your peace will grow too. The anxiety that ruled your mornings will lose its power. The worries that drained your joy will let go. You will start trusting what you cannot see more than what you can. You will expect good things instead of bracing for disappointment. You will come to see that provision is not something you chase after. It is something that follows you when you live in obedience to God. Chosen one, this is not just wishful thinking or positive thinking. It is true alignment with God. When your life aligns with heaven's timing, everything changes. Your mindset, your feelings, your chances, your relationships, and your ability to hear God clearly. Once this alignment starts, it cannot be reversed unless you choose to turn back. But you won't turn back because your spirit has tasted what peace really feels like. You have felt what moving forward with God's power is like. Now that you have even a small experience of this supernatural flow, you know deep down that you were made for more than just struggle. You are stepping into a chapter where God is not only giving you what you need, but working together with you, where blessings are not just falling on your life but flowing through you, where purpose is not something you chase, but something you live and breathe. Everything is changing, and this time the change is forever. Chosen one, as you keep moving into this holy rising, you will realize that God is not only changing your circumstances, but tuning your entire spirit to a higher frequency. You are being set to work on a level where fear cannot enter, doubt cannot take control, and lack cannot survive. This tuning is important because what God is about to release into your life needs a spirit that is steady, wise, and deeply rooted in truth. You are not just being blessed, you are being changed so the blessings can stay on you without crushing you. This inner strengthening is the hidden miracle that makes the visible miracles possible. And now, God is doing this work inside you with perfect care and precision. There may be times when this spiritual change feels like pressure, but chosen one, don't misunderstand this pressure. It is proof that what has been growing inside you is ready to come out. Just like a seed has to press against the dirt to break through, you have to press against old limits to fully step into your calling. This pressure is not punishment, it is birth. It is the sound of destiny stretching your spirit to make space for how big what is coming really is. In this stretching, you will find strengths you didn't know you had and courage you didn't know you carried. God is showing you how deep your ability goes so you can rise without fear when the door opens. As this rising continues, the clarity inside you will get sharper. Thoughts that used to be foggy will become clear. Questions that overwhelmed you will start to settle. You will feel a quiet wisdom growing inside you. It won't shout or be loud, but it will have a strong weight and power. This is the result of being aligned with God. When God lines your spirit up with His rhythm, confusion loses its power. You won't make decisions out of fear or worry, but out of wisdom. You won't act on impulse, but on understanding. And the more you trust this inner knowing, the more God will trust you with greater revelations. Chosen one, during this time of greater clarity, you will also start to see your past in a new way. The pain that once seemed to have no purpose will now show you why it was necessary. The losses that once broke your heart will now reveal the hidden strength they built inside you. The delays that once frustrated you will prove to be God's way of protecting you from roads that were never meant for your life. God is giving you a new way to look back with healing, peace, and hope. Nothing from your past will haunt you in this new season. Instead, your past will become proof that God has always been carrying you. This deeper understanding will also change how you see provision. You will stop thinking of provision as something that comes and goes randomly. Instead, you will see it as a steady flow planned by God. You will notice patterns in how God provides, patterns in timing, alignment, unexpected help, and surprising breakthroughs. What once felt random will now feel like a perfect plan. When you recognize God's patterns, you stop worrying about the how and start trusting the who. Provision becomes personal when you know the provider. As this revelation grows, your confidence will rise, not as pride, but as authority. You will carry yourself differently, speak differently, and make decisions with a new weight because you know you have heaven's backing. This change in how you carry yourself will sometimes surprise even you. You will find yourself saying no to things that you used to accept or tolerate without question because your spirit begins to understand clearly that those things do not fit with the future that God has planned for you. You will no longer settle for situations, people, or habits that hold you back or drain your energy. Instead, you will start to say yes to new opportunities that might have once made you nervous or scared, but now feel like exactly the right steps for you to take. This is because you have come to realize that being bold and courageous is not just something you need to do, but something that is a natural part of who you are. It is written in your very spirit, your divine DNA. You are not acting from fear or uncertainty anymore. You are stepping forward with a strong sense of authority that comes from knowing who you truly are and what you are called to do. This new sense of authority inside you will change the way the world sees and responds to you. It won't be something you have to shout about or prove to others. It will simply be something you carry quietly within yourself, and others will notice it naturally. This kind of spiritual authority is not loud or showy, but it is powerful and undeniable. As this authority rises inside of you, your influence will also grow. People will begin to seek your advice and wisdom even when you haven't asked for their attention. They will want to be around you because the light and strength you carry is shining brighter and cannot be hidden anymore. Heaven has been working on you privately, preparing you, shaping you, polishing you, and now the results are beginning to show. You may have spent many years feeling invisible, overlooked, or underestimated by others, but none of that was a punishment or a failure. Instead, it was preparation. Just like a seed is hidden in the earth before it grows, a diamond is buried deep before it shines, and a chosen person is concealed before they are revealed to the world. Now that revealing time is starting for you, and heaven will make sure that when you rise in a way that can't be ignored or overlooked. As your influence grows, you will also feel a stronger pull toward your mission and purpose. You will want to encourage and uplift others, to speak words of life where before you stayed quiet, and to help guide others through difficulties you have already faced and overcome. This is a key part of your calling. Heaven does not raise you up to be isolated or alone, but to place you as a source of hope, breakthrough, and healing for others. Your own story and experiences will become a powerful source of encouragement for those who are searching for meaning, direction, and hope. You won't be speaking from theory or guesswork, but from real-life experience. Everything you went through, every challenge you overcame, will become like oil that anoints and blesses the people God brings into your life. This season marks the beginning of something amazing, a supernatural coming together of your inner world and your outer world. You will start to see your faith and your daily life coming together, your prayers lining up with the results you see around you. Heaven is bringing together the right people, resources, opportunities, and moments with perfect timing. Nothing is happening by accident anymore. Everything is part of a clear and intentional plan. The more you allow yourself to be part of this process, the more your growth and rise will happen naturally and easily. You are standing at the edge of a powerful movement that will not stop or fade away. What starts now will grow and multiply. Heaven is not just giving you a moment of success or blessing. It is giving you a mantle, a permanent role filled with authority and purpose. And once this mantle is placed on you, nothing will be able to stop what comes next in your life. As you continue to move deeper into this divine momentum, you will begin to feel that heaven is changing the very atmosphere around your life. Things that once felt heavy, difficult, or stuck will start to feel lighter and easier. Problems and blockages that seemed impossible to overcome will begin to open up and flow in your favor. Situations that were confusing and uncertain will start to make sense in ways that you could never have planned or figured out on your own. This is clear proof that spiritual alignment, being connected to God's plan and timing, is no longer something you are just hoping or trying to reach. It is now a reality you are living in every day. The resistance, the doubts, and the things that once drained your energy are losing their power over you, not because the challenges disappeared, but because your spirit has grown stronger and risen above them. This rise is not dramatic or loud. It is steady, deeply rooted, and supernatural. Something inside of you has changed, and now everything around you is starting to respond to that change. You may notice that peace begins to follow you into situations or places where before you felt anxiety or fear. Conversations that once made you confused or unsettled will now confirm the clarity you have inside. Decisions that used to feel overwhelming will come with a sense of ease and confidence. This is because God is strengthening your inner foundation, making your spirit stable and firm. When your foundation is strong inside, the outside world loses the ability to shake or move you. You will no longer react out of fear or confusion. Instead, you will respond with wisdom and calm, following divine guidance. This deep inner shift is one of the greatest miracles heaven can do for a chosen person. It is what allows you to stand firm and walk through hard times without losing your balance or peace. As this stability continues to grow, you will also become more aware of the spiritual authority resting on your life. You will feel a new boldness rising inside you, not just confidence in yourself, but boldness that comes from knowing your calling and purpose. This boldness will change how you speak, how you act, and how you carry yourself. You won't wait for permission from others to pursue what God has already shown you to do. You won't shrink back or hide to make others comfortable. You won't apologize for the gifts and calling that make you different. Instead, you will move forward with purpose, clarity, and strong conviction, knowing that God is with you and supporting every step. This new authority may make some people uncomfortable. It might reveal insecurities in those who once took advantage of your self-doubt. It may change the way some people relate to you, especially those who only knew you when you were struggling or just getting by. Don't be shaken or discouraged by their reactions. When heaven raises you up, not everyone will understand the changes in you. But remember, elevation isn't about being understood by everyone. It's about being aligned with your true path. Those who are meant to stay in your life will adjust to the new, stronger version of you. Those who cannot adjust were never meant to walk with you into this new level. As heaven expands your authority, it will also expand your vision. You will start to see possibilities and opportunities where before you only saw limits and obstacles. Ideas that you once thought were unrealistic or too big will now feel like God-given inspirations. Goals that you buried or gave up on because of fear or lack of resources will come back into your mind with new clarity and hope. This is because heaven is awakening the builder inside you, the part of you created not just to survive, but to create and shape your world. Now that fear is lifting, your creativity, insight, wisdom, and spiritual senses are becoming sharper than ever before. This awakening is not random or accidental. It is a clear sign that heaven is preparing you to manage something much bigger than anything you've handled before. Along with this awakening, your desire for purpose will grow stronger. You will feel drawn more and more toward the things that fit your calling and will become less interested in things that drain your spirit or distract you. People, places, and habits that used to hold your attention will no longer satisfy your heart and soul. This is a clear sign that you are outgrowing the earlier stages of your journey. Heaven will not let you stay in places or situations that shrink your spirit or limit your growth. Your calling is too important, too vast, and too sacred to be kept small or confined. As you step away from old spaces, you will find that heaven has already prepared new ones for you. New places where your voice will be valued, your gifts will be appreciated, and your anointing will be recognized and honored. This transition into living fully on purpose will also bring a deeper trust growing inside you. You will start moving forward with a confidence that doesn't come from having all the answers, but from knowing who is leading you. Trust will become the language you speak every day. Peace will be the way you hold yourself, and surrender will become your true source of strength. You won't feel the need to control every little detail, because you will finally understand that God's timing is not just right, it is perfect. As this trust grows stronger, your life will settle into a rhythm of supernatural ease. This doesn't mean you won't have to work or face challenges, but it means you will live without fear. You will put in effort without panic or worry. You will keep moving forward not because the road is easy, but because your spirit is sure and steady. Heaven is not preparing you just for a short moment or a temporary success. Heaven is preparing you for a mantle, a long-term role filled with influence, abundance, clear vision, and holy responsibility. Everything you are becoming now is lining up perfectly with everything you are called to do in the future. This new chapter of your life is not something temporary. It is a deep transformation that will change you forever. As you continue moving forward in this powerful transformation, you will start to feel a new kind of awakening inside your spirit. A stirring that tells you something very sacred and important is happening beneath the surface of your everyday life. This awakening is not just an emotional high or excitement. It is a quiet and strong confirmation that heaven has shifted your timeline, opened up your path, and aligned your next steps with God's perfect plan. You may not be able to see the full picture yet, but you can sense the momentum building, a supernatural pull and an invisible push that keep leading you forward. This is heaven telling you clearly, you are ready now, not almost ready, not someday ready, but ready right now. As this divine momentum grows, you will notice your inner thoughts changing. Where you once doubted yourself, you will now find faith in possibilities. Where you once feared not having enough, you will now expect God's provision. Where you once hesitated and held back, you will now find courage to move boldly. This inner change is the true sign that heaven has touched your life deeply. You will no longer be led by the voice of scarcity or lack, but by the quiet whisper of your destiny. You will not be controlled by the echoes of past pain and wounds, but by the clear vision of a renewed and healed spirit. Heaven is untangling your thoughts and breaking free the old stories and fears that once kept you limited. You, chosen one, have allowed this breaking down to happen, even if you didn't fully realize it. Every difficult and painful chapter you survived became preparation for this new spiritual wisdom and intelligence that you now carry inside you. As this spiritual wisdom grows, your decisions will begin to change. You will no longer act on impulse or emotion alone, but from clear revelation and divine understanding. You will stop wasting energy trying to explain yourself to those who cannot understand your journey. You will no longer fight battles that God has not given you. Instead, you will move with careful precision and grace. You will move with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that heaven is supporting every step they take. This confidence will not be prideful or boastful. Instead, it will be peaceful, a calm stillness in your spirit that tells you, I am exactly where I am meant to be. Along with this new stillness inside, heaven will also increase your influence. People will begin to seek you out, even if they don't fully understand why. They will feel comforted by your peace, encouraged by your clarity, and inspired by your wisdom. You will become a carrier of a special, divine atmosphere wherever you go. This is not something you force or try to create, but something that naturally flows from who you are becoming. The more aligned you are with God, the more His light will shine through you. When you walk into a room, you will change the mood and energy